welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews, back to talk more Doctor Who. We're on Season 9. We're doing Episode 2, which is the second part of the two-part beginning of Season 9. First one was called The Magician's Assistant. I screwed that up. Or was it? No, it's the Apprentice. I screwed it up again. I know what it's called. Somebody pointed it out in the comment section. Thank you very much for that. It was called The Magician's Apprentice. This one's called The Witch's Familiar. And so, full spoilers if you haven't watched this episode. So, pretty good. I can tell that this is it would be a very important episode for people following the show since the beginning, or since at least from the Christopher Eccleston things. Wow, I can't talk today. Ever since I got back from running around. So we got notes. We got things to say. Really, really cool episode. It explains what happens at the very end when the doctor's saying exterminate to a young Davros. So Missy has Clara hung up upside down. And we find out that she tells the story of the doctor, which is really cool. You know, it shows different doctors, just in the shadows, the one with the scarf. And again, somebody will go, the one with the scarf is, she basically says it doesn't matter which doctor we're talking about. But we're going to give it to Eyebrows, which I like. That's a nice nickname for Peter Capaldi's character. And that he was using a teleporter. He was surrounded. It didn't have any power. And the trick he used was with the screwdriver, and the technology from the teleporter was from the assassins that were the android assassins that were coming after him, and it powered up the teleporter, and he teleported out. And that is basically a long way of Missy telling Clara what happened to them. She used the same technology to get them out, which is really cool. Now, she also says, consider the doctor, talking about how did he get out of these things. And also there's a nest of vampire monkeys. I would really like to hear that story. Because she said this for another time, but I don't know if that was a past episode or not. But he survives because he assumes he's going to win. And if he thinks he's going to die, then we die. So I like that kind of idea, because it comes up again later when it's when the doctor thinks Clara's dead, and what potentially the doctor could be like if he really lost all hope. But maybe I'm wrong about that. I'm just kind of inferring my own thoughts on that. So the doctor takes Davros out of his machine. This episode is filled with some really cool stuff. So he's talking to Davros. He's talking about the cables, how important they are, and he wants Davros to get out of there. Well, he literally gets out of there. He pulls him out of his Dalek machine, and the doctor gets in it. And he's tooling around in front of these guys, and they try to shoot him. But there's just like the TARDIS has a force field, so does this thing, and it doesn't go both ways. So he's threatening the Daleks and telling them, I want Clara Oswald brought before me right now. And if she's really dead, I don't want to be the one who tells me she's dead. So that's where it kind of brings up the idea of Missy and Clara are in the sewers, surrounded by all these decaying Daleks. The Daleks never really die. Their goo has kind of become one big if I'm saying this correctly, if I'm interpreting this correctly, that all the decaying Daleks are basically one big sludge hive of the Daleks that were decomposing, but not dead. Somehow their technology still lives, but they can't reconstitute themselves into new bodies. And when they hear what the doctor is saying about, Clara being possibly dead, it kind of shows what the doctor might be willing to do if Missy and all the people that he cared about were actually dead. But of course, it's the Doctor Who episode, and so I should just be thinking that the doctor knows what he's doing the whole way. So they always have me fooled with oh no, oh no, but so. So Sarf wraps up the doctor the snake guy, which is really cool effect. He wraps him up and brings him back to Davros, where they proceed to, kind of have this like philosophical discussion about their past and all the things that they've been done and what they would do to, what they've done to each other, what they've done to, their siblings, and what Davros did to Gallifrey, or thinks he did to Gallifrey, and what the Doctor's done to the Daleks. And Missy, though, they bring in, when they know that Davros is supposed to, the Daleks know that the Doctor wants Clara, they use a Dalek as bait. Missy has Clara stand out there. She's poking it, and the dying, the decomposing Daleks all take it over and explode it. And so they dig out the parts, all the juice and everything inside it, and Clara climbs in and becomes a Dalek. And this is pretty funny. Missy here is still really cartoony, and I don't really, I know I'm not supposed to take it that seriously, but I still she's kind of a bit more toned down and still having fun, messing with Clara, and just in her way, like seeing the how far they can stretch this her inside a Dalek thing. What are they capable of doing with her inside that suit? Which is pretty cool. Then Davros says to the Doctor that these cables here, if you pull them down, you could kill all the Daleks. Gives him this opportunity to get rid of them. And I thought that was really weird for him to say. Like now that I'm thinking about like this episode in retrospect, because like I said, if you've seen the spoilers, so like he's really wanting the Doctor to touch those cables, so he's tempting him, but the Doctor doesn't take the bait. And so then, he talks about compassion. Compassion, is going to get you killed, I think is what he says. So then the Doctor tells Davros, because they're talking about, like he's dying and everything. And the Doctor tells him that Gallifrey is safe. And, away from them. And I was thinking to myself, why would you use that? Why would you give Davros that information? Because it could, if somehow he gets out of this, he could use that to just full on go after Gallifrey. Or could this just be a ruse to really find out where Gallifrey is, or to confirm that Gallifrey is not gone? And even Davros congratulates him, saying like, someone should have a people, and that you should protect your people. And did I do the right thing, doing my, protecting my people? And he wants to see the sunrise, and he's getting all maudlin. And the Doctor, him and the Doctor end up having this kind of laugh, with like two old enemies laughing with each other. I thought that was interesting, but I kept going, there's something wrong here, though. There's still something wrong here, because if this guy's like got a mind like a robot, but he's also a person, or used to be a person, where's this all really going? And so he wants to see the sunrise, and the Doctor feels like he's dying, so he gives him he can't open his eyes to see the sunrise, so he uses a little bit of his regenerative power, right, to heal him just enough so that he can see the sunrise, so he can open his eyes. But what happens is he starts draining. It's a trick. In fact, as soon as I heard there was like a little bit of a like the Emperor from Star Wars kind of laugh, like it was before he even grabbed the cable. So I went, wait, no. So he starts taking the regenerative power from the Doctor, which is regenerating him and all the other Daleks. But so I was like, oh God. Like, they all start getting, like, glowy, and it looks like Davros is starting to perk up a little bit. And I was like, oh man, this really is that was a pretty good trick, because it's like he was just kept trying to find the next thing that he wasn't giving up on getting those powers. But what he didn't know because Missy shows up at this point, is that he takes the confession dial first off, and he's like 3, 2, 1, and it's revealed that he knew what he was doing the whole time, which is a little convenient to the plot, but I mean the doctor usually is like this. He's like, oh, I've just been playing with you like the whole time, and I was letting you do it because when you said, when I gave you the regenerative power over to you, it's not just you, it's all the Daleks, including the ones in the sewers. And the ones in the sewers are fucking pissed. And so they're rising up now through the ground, cracking it up, bringing the city down as, they're falling in, but also they're getting consumed by the decaying Daleks. I don't know how that works, like, because some of them have it just, like, pouring out of them, and I'm like, how did they get in there? But whatever. Don't think too hard about it. But when I say that, I don't mean don't take logic out of it. You just know that it's happening. And so they start taking out all the Daleks. The whole place is coming down around them. Davros's plan did not work. He keeps talking about this half human, half Time Lord, half Dalek hybrid. And Missy and the Doctor take off, and they run into the Dalek that's Clara. And Clara says, "Oh, Clara's dead, by the way. This is the Dalek that killed her." And he's, they have this like long dramatic, where's Clara kind of thing that they do in, like these kind of standoffs. Then Clara manages to get the word mercy out. And mercy's not a word that they should have in their vocabulary. How would it learn that? And it turns, he tells Clara to open it if it's you. Think open, it opens. And he still can't figure out, later on here at the end of the episode, how did the Dalek learn mercy? And he realizes how. And he goes into the TARDIS, goes back in time to the end of last episode and the beginning of the last episode, where he comes back to Davros and we hear him say exterminate. But instead of exterminating Davros, he shoots the hand mines that are all around him and saves him. And he says, like, are we enemies or friends? And he's like, I don't think it's really about enemies or friends, but always mercy. And so he knows now that that's how he knew mercy, was that to save somebody, it was programmed in like that, I guess. That to, like, if Davros had that in him in some place that he learned from the Doctor, from him saving him as a child. Now, why that didn't stop him from becoming this, I don't know. Again, I don't know all the lore at all, but this was a pretty amazing episode. And I can imagine that people watching this premiere of these 2 episodes were like... So it's pretty great. It's pretty great, and I dug it a lot. I can't wait to see what happens in the next one where it's where they're underwater, and there's like ghosts underwater or whatever. Yeah, I know it's not going to be that simple. It's going to be something crazier than that. But this was really dope. I'm really glad that I'm still watching Doctor Who. And so if you like this review, please hit the like button, comment if you like, tell me what you guys think. Subscribe if you're not subscribers. If you're enjoying the content, share these videos. That's a big thing about this. Is like, if you like this, share it with somebody that also likes Doctor Who, or might just like the way I do videos. I just released my first top 6 episodes of The Expanse review up. We did number 6 just earlier today. It's for the season 1 episode CQB. If anybody that watches this watches that show too, that's up on the channel. You can find me on Twitter at reviews_gun. Anybody who feels feels like it, you can donate to the channel, make the channel better by going to paypal.me/smirkinggunreviews or go to my Patreon page at Smirking Gun Reviews. Otherwise, thank you so much for anybody that watches these and any of my videos. I really appreciate all the support I've been getting lately. So this is Rob at Smirking Gun Reviews saying we'll be back with more Doctor Who next Saturday. Otherwise, check out any of the other content that's on the channel, and we will see you on the next video. Bye.